Well, howdy do, buckaroos. This is Joe Layton of Cowboys and Indians magazine, and it is my great pleasure today to be talking with Jim Lauderdale, the songwriter, singer, all around great guy, and practitioner of the fine art of Tai Chi. Well, Jim, what is the name of your new album? I think it's called Game Changer.
Joe, it is called Game Changer. And as you mentioned, the Tai Chi, I am clumsily getting into a shirt. No, Game Changer is the title for this new record. There's a song on
Mhm.
there called Game Changer. I often will call a record one of the song titles or part of a
Mhm.
lyric in there. Except I did call one album years ago Country Super Hits Volume 1 with the hopes.
Very optimistic, very optimistic
Yeah,
there.
that's right. So it did finally, one song did get cut by George Strait about 12 years later. So that's good. So I guess the record, the title did pay off after all. It just took a while.
But now, do you see this as, reflective as maybe a new direction in your music? I mean, you're well known for keeping that traditional country sound alive, but maybe you're going off in a slightly different direction.
No, this, well, I mean, to me, I feel that this one is pretty traditionally based with, um, uh, the challenge, I guess, for us guys that make records, us guys and gals that do love the traditional country music, is to still keep it in that framework, but do something slightly different so we're not repeating ourselves or being too derivative of someone else. So I feel, I mean, there's a couple of songs, even let's see, Hog in My Mind, that would be, I could hear Jerry Reed doing that one back in the 70s, maybe. So I feel like it is a early 70s sounding, late 60s sounding traditional country record. Now, I do have a follow up that's pretty much ready to go. That's even a little more traditional than than Game Changer. So,
This will be
but
greatest hits,
that's
volume two.
no, no. No, I actually, Joe, I do have a bunch of songs that I would um, that I would make a country super hits volume two. A lot of them I had written with the fella I wrote the volume one with, named O.D. Blackman, who's a great writer and producer, and we have a song on the new album on Game Changer called Lightning Love. But there was a period of time in Nashville when I started coming here more and more before I finally moved. And then after I moved, where I was just in the studio so much, a studio called Moondog, and it was owned by Gary Talent, who's the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band's bass player. And he had moved to Nashville and had this great studio. And the engineer there, Tim Coates, and I just would work a whole lot. I just book time and get a bunch of great guys, go in there and not really know what would come out. Sometimes I'd co-write with my friend Frank Dykes, and I'd say, "I'm going to the studio tomorrow. Do you have any lyrics for me?" Harlan Howard, Melba Montgomery, great writers like that, who I began co-writing with, and then I'd go in, boom, here's one. we wrote the other day or yesterday or this morning. And so that was really uh, fun and exciting. And a lot of those tracks ended up becoming records because Tim Coates and I got better and better at kind of capturing things. And really so much of making a record is just having great musicians on there. And there's uh, you know, Nashville has just got tons of great players. So, and then to make a long story interminable, the country, I do have, there were several songs that I recorded over there at Moondog with Tim Coates. It's like I should have already put on an album. And then there were songs that Odie Blackman and I recorded that for one reason or another, we didn't put on country super hits. But I do, and I've got a couple of other unfinished records that were uh, kind of projects I had in mind, but I keep wanting to just do new stuff first. That's kind of that's also a big challenge to me. And so there will be more and more country stuff coming out.
When I'm often warned, like art isn't always autobiography. I mean, sometimes a movie is a
No,
movie, a book is a book, a song is a song. But when he first cuts from the new album, Friends Again, uh,
uh-huh.
what should we read into that? I mean, it's a great song, but I mean, are you like reacclimating yourself with the Nashville scene or country music or the music business, or you just want to, give a
No,
shout out
I
to a
think
buddy?
that one, well, I think that one, I was just thinking of those situations which we hear about all the time of like, yeah, they used to be friends and they haven't spoken for so long, and this kind of thing. I mean, I think it's happened to so many of us, but then that reconciliation, that sweet uh, thing that happens when people go like, "Hey, I don't know what it was. Gosh, hey, it's great to see, great to run into you. Let's, get together and do something." And so it's a nice, hopeful thing when that happens with people, and hopefully that's going to happen more and more with people. We've been through so much these last several years that we need each other more and more. And and there's a song on the record um, I wrote with Mary Gaucher and Jamie Harris called "We're All We've Got." And when I was going through various songs, I was mentioning that there's a follow up to this record. I knew that I really wanted Friends Again on this record. Uh, there's, let's see, the song that kicks it off, That Kind of Life, That Kind of Day. I knew I wanted that to kick off the record. I knew Friends Again just sounded right for the third song. Second song, there's a song I wrote with Logan Ledger, a great young singer songwriter here in Nashville, called Keep It Real. The title song, Game Changer, and this song, We're All We've Got. Those were the ones I thought these other ones maybe I'll save for later or whatnot. But I really, part of it about Friends Again and We're All We've Got is just it's kind of a these message songs for us to you know, to get along with our relatives and friends and loved ones, and see the importance of that human connection with us.
It's funny because lately I've been listening again a lot to your song "Listen" and
Oh,
looking at the video, and that of course has the Tai Chi connection. But the
mhm.
lyrics is like, basically maybe we'd all be better off if we did listen a little bit
Yes,
more. Like there's
yes,
in a conversation, too often, are you just waiting to have your chance to talk? Or are you actually listening to what the other person is saying?
yeah,
And I mean,
exactly.
and I have to deal with that, well, professionally when I'm interviewing people, conversing, but in my life, and I'm sure in your life too, it's like, how often are we really hearing what the other
Yeah,
person is saying?
that's absolutely. Yeah, you're right about that. And I think that as human beings, we a lot of times need to talk and want to talk. I'm kind of one of those guys that actually prefers to listen to people. Some other than this talk right now. Now, I'm not counting this as a,
Hmm.
but I don't really like to talk about myself too much because I think that uh, as a writer and person that makes records, you you do talk about yourself a lot. So I think because I do that, which is good and fine, um, I don't really. Of course, you'll probably get a lot of mail about this. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? This guy talks all the time. What are you talking about? But my dad was a really good listener, and I think I inherited that or picked up from him his ability to do that. He enjoyed listening to people, and people enjoyed talking to him. And he was a pastor, and he would counsel people also very confidentially. But he, so I think that if there was some good qualities I inherited from him, that's one of them. And hey, I've already talked about myself too much now. I'll see you. No, I'm joking.
No,
That's a
well, go
joke.
ahead now. I've got
No,
a
I'm
couple more
teasing.
questions
No,
here.
I'm joking. I'm
Okay,
joking.
okay. you know, uh, this may be too personal a question, but uh, Tai Chi, what does that give you, that sense of centeredness, not only in your life, but in your art, in your music making?
Um, it is a kind of constant learning process. Um, I certainly, even though I've been doing it for a long time, uh, I find myself in situations all the time where I am like thinking, looking back and going, gosh, I really wasn't very centered or calm during this uh, thing that happened or whatever. But it's a good reminder later on of how to method. I think it has helped a lot as far as like kind of calming me down at certain times. But then I get disappointed often. Like I say, if there's some situation, it's like, gosh, why was that stressing me out so much? Now, see it because I think though in life, I mean, gosh, it's just, the stuff we just normally deal with, all of us constantly. Um, it's just nice to have something that you can get away from all of that just for a little while and kind of collect yourself, gather your energy, and it helps you deal with it better. Now, it's like I say, I've still got a long, long way to go. And one interesting thing about Tai Chi, and I look at it too as a great exercise. It's good to, uh, it just helps keep me moving. Like, I like a song of mine I wrote with Susan Gibson. I'm happiest when I'm moving. We all need to do something every day, whether it's a little bit of walking or stretching or whatever you enjoy. I think it's real important for all of us to do that, and it helps you feel better, and it's so and Tai Chi too. Another thing about it, it's interesting. When I was I guess about 8 or something, I saw a book in the rack in the drugstore about karate, and it was kind of a slight introduction, and but I didn't study with anyone, and then when that TV show called Kung Fu was on with David Carradine, I there was something about the way he was, his character was this Shaolin monk from China. And so he was, just very calm all the time. And he was able to defend himself in these fights just kind of effortlessly. So it had a real appeal to me. And I was working on a record in LA around 1993. And I happened to see this Tai Chi magazine, and there was a workshop advertised in Oregon. So that weekend, so I went, and the both instructors, the one that George Shue, that um, lived in the U.S., brought an elderly Tai Chi master over, and so my thought at the time in my 30s was, gosh, I want to be like this guy is when I'm getting into my 70s. This guy is a real inspiration. So the thing with Tai Chi is that as you get older, you actually improve more and more with certain things, whereas in some forms of working out, you might get to a point of like, gosh, I can't do this anymore. My knees are getting bad, or my shoulder. But that's one good thing about Tai Chi is that you can keep going till you can't, don't want to anymore.
Now, can we go on YouTube and do Tai Chi with Jim Lauderdale? I mean, do you have your own little?
That's a good idea.
I mean,
That's no, that is a good idea.
I mean, if the music thing ever dries up for you,
Hey, be careful what you wish for.
Well, that's true. That's true.
No, I'm joking.
So I'm just going to say
it's funny. No, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say the album is Game Changer, and it will. I was going to say hit record stores, but I guess there aren't too many record stores anymore.
Some.
Yeah. On August 26th. Yes. And that is also when you are going to perform at the Grand Ole Opry?
Yes. Yeah.
You're going to perform the whole album?
I will, well, now at the Opry, I'll just do a couple of songs.
Oh, okay.
From the album. But I wanted to do it that night because the Opry is just such a special place to me. And It was someplace I'd always dreamt of playing at least once. And then through the years, I've been able to play there several times. And it always means so much. And so I thought, and these days, record releases come on Fridays. They used to come on, I think, Tuesdays or something, but they changed it. So I thought, hey, perfect. I'll see if I can get on the Opry that night to kind of celebrate the release of the record. And luckily, they had a slot available.
Oh, that's great.
So it just, yeah, it's just such a treat to get to play there.
And after the show, you will be in the lobby giving Tai Chi lessons, correct?
Hey, now that is well, not. You know what? It's probably too late.
Yeah.
I wish you would have, because they have to set this stuff up. But
Okay.
and also getting back to the thing about that is that I don't feel qualified yet to teach, because see, I do. I started doing this on the Cayamo cruise that Buddy Miller got me on, and when I do the outlaw country cruises, I do it too. But I just volunteer in the mornings to kind of give a warm up class of a bunch of Tai Chi exercises. I don't teach a choreographed series of movements that Tai Chi is, and there's several different styles, and that's what I don't really feel qualified in doing. Someday I'd love to do that though, but the records are taking too much time to make. Oh, and then being gone on the road and stuff.
Oh, yes.
There's not the consistency you need, but that, I guess you'd say it's a hobby, but it's a daily thing I do. But I consider, if I had a hobby, that would be it too.
Well, Jim, you've been very generous with your time. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the new album, and keep on trucking.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.